We just covered C, G, and D on the top set. So let's add the keys of A and E. That'll give you access to the triads and the most popular guitar keys. We'll start with A. The lowest version of the A triad is right there. And I'm sure those of you who've been playing guitar a little while will know that that's pretty close to the A chord that we all learn. So some of these triads, they occur inside larger chord forms. So you're going to find that you'll be going, man, this chord has something I've just learned in it already. That's fantastic. Usable stuff, perhaps. Back to key of A. Key of A. A, C sharp, E. How do we create that? How do we get that C sharp, which is always the toughie? It's a major third above A, so that's 2 whole steps. A to B, B to C sharp gives us 2 whole steps. C sharp to D, a half step, and then a whole step. D to E gives us the other third that's stacked on top of this. So there you go. A, C sharp, E. Those are the notes in A. 1, 3, 5. Let's move this form up to the first inversion. Now we have this, the third is now on the bottom, C sharp. The fifth, or E, is in the middle, and the root, A, is now on the top. 1 is on top. That's the sound of the first inversion. Here's the second inversion in the key of A. So now, working from the bottom up, there's the fifth, E, there's the root, A, there's the third, C sharp. We came from here, went to the next available tone, and we found this inversion. There is, you could possibly play up here. If you had a cutaway, you could go back to the repeat of the root inversion if you wished, or you can just use the lower one only. So as we're going up and down the neck, another thing you might think about is if we played each one of these voices individually going up, you'll hear all the notes of the triad. I don't think we've done that before, so let's examine that. Let's look here. Here's the root. Here's the third. There's the fifth, and then again there's the root. So we're going up the notes of the chords. Same with the middle voice. C sharp, E, A. So if you're thinking as you're moving your triads up, you could start thinking about if you're trying to create the inversions, you could just sometimes think about my voices, I like to call them voices as opposed to notes in the chord, because really if this were melodic, this would be like 3 voices moving upward, right? So I call them voices, which will come in handy when we do wider, learning how to do wider spacings, because I'll say things like, take the middle voice and drop it down an octave. So I like to think of them as voices. That creates almost, as opposed to we're playing a block chord, we're having 3 people singing. So another way of looking at creating these triads, another viewpoint as it were, is having the single voice moving up. So you could think about it as that's just another way of looking at it. And sometimes when you're practicing, you might just, if you're practicing these triads, you might think of them in different ways as, here's the 1, 3, 5, here's A, C sharp, and E. And then as you're going up the neck, you can think about the triads, or you can think about the individual strings or voices. Just helps cement the names of the notes, the numbers in your brain, making new connections in your brain. So we covered A, one of the popular keys for guitarists. And yet, one more popular key, E. Probably the most popular guitar key. Everyone loves E. We're going to start with the third, G sharp on the bottom, B in the middle, the fifth, and E the root. on top. How do we get the G sharp? Just to recap. E to F sharp, whole step. F sharp to G sharp, whole step. That gives us our major third. So it's G sharp, B, E. That's our E major triad. Here's our second inversion. This was the first inversion. Just see, like instantly go. First inversion, thirds on the bottom. Or if you want to look at it as root on top. Equally useful. Second inversion, 5, 1, 3. B, E, G sharp. We went up to the next available voice. Okay, so one more time. We're going to go up to the next available voice. B goes up to E. E goes up to G sharp. G sharp goes up to B. So now we're back. This is the root position, meaning that the root E, or the first step of the scale, is on the bottom. E, G sharp, B, G, E, G sharp, B, or 1, 3, 5. And then in E, you can easily, if you have a cutaway, it's a little easier, but even without a cutaway, I can still get up here to repeat the first inversion.